So, this is about changing your culture, okay? From a chemical culture which depletes your humanity, okay? Because freedom for me, I'm a person that believes in humanity, human rights. I don't deal with no isms. Okay. Humanity as a whole, male, female, black, white, black, green, and all the other mess that they done got us intellectually confused in, is about freedom. That is, what is freedom? It's not petition of government. Freedom, as a Messianic Hebrew, is intrinsic. Okay. Intrinsic freedom. Okay. That is to experience the highest potential of what I was created to achieve. And right now we're not. Socially, politically, we're not. Why? Because we drugged up. And we've been drugged up so long, we don't even know we drugged up. So last week I did the frontal lobe, okay? I did the frontal lobe, and we found out that there were certain foods that we think is food, but it's not food. Now, what's one of the things we feed our kids to reward them? Sugar and peanut butter. Oh, peanut butter jelly sandwich. We make that for the kids for lunch all the time, right? And don't know we the drug pusher. And our best customer is our children. Now, let's look at this before we get into the liver. Because every week I'm going to do a couple of foods to let you know what they're doing to these foods. I got notes here. Peanut butter. On this, I quote from a FDA report. Now, this is from, I got it, the FDA report right here. Okay. It says, this was done in September 2000. Okay. It was a, what was it? A total diet study. Mm-hmm. And they study in foods, especially kid food, peanut butter, ice cream, salt, all these things that we think is normal. Okay. And this report, let me get this report so I don't want to miss one word of it, states that non-organic peanut butter has over 259 disease and cancer-causing chemicals. Some of these words I can't even pronounce. Such as hexachlorobenzene, okay, which causes brain damage, bone marrow poisoning, tumor, and cancer. Benzene, hexachloride, which is a skin irritant, causes leukemia, poison, and cancer. This word, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's dieldrin. Dieldrin. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Is a causation of various diseases. Methylparaton poisons the body system and causes, excites, or inspires cancer. Therefore, your government agencies are in full knowledge of the chemical diseases. Okay. The chemical that they put in these foods, and they know the diseases it's caused. But they still do not warn you, because it's not law for them to put on the label the chemicals that's in the food, as long as they're at a certain percentage. Now, when we say a food is a cancer insider, that's because you don't get cancer. You got it. Cancer is in the sperm of a male. Okay. That when you go into a woman, your wife hopefully, that cancer is released to what? Split the cell, I think it is. So that the sperm can get in there. Okay. That's all cancer is. It's in the sperm. The woman receives that, okay, And it sits in the body system as a harmless parasite, supervised by the immune system. You already got it. The chemicals and the abuse that we do to our bodies weaken our immune system to the degree where that cancer is inspired into activity. You don't get cancer, cancer is already there. But the chemicals, that's why we say this chemical incites or inspires cancer. Okay? Okay. Now, you ain't got cancer, you already had cancer. It's a harmless parasite. It is used in the birthing process. That's the only function it has. Okay. But the chemicals, the drugs, the alcohol abuse, okay, inspires it into activity. That's the way to deal with it. You got to be really wanting to live to get over cancer. Certain herbs, foods, programs that we have, and I've seen people recover. One lady, Dr. Jamal in New York, they sent her out with about a 4th grade. They said, okay, we can't do nothing else. He did. Killed it. Within 6 months, well, that was a long time ago. She might have died from natural causes, but she would recover. The doctor in France, I can't remember his name right now, but I'll get it. And he said it don't take nothing but 30 days to cure cancer. And he criticized the method of cancer therapy that they use in America. He said it's barbarity. Okay. Because it weakens the immune system. You got to strengthen that immune system so that immune system can bring it back under its supervision. You don't put poison, which is radiation, to kill a sickness. How can you kill a sickness with poison? Doesn't make sense. Go ahead.
I always pondered this. My mother passed away from cancer, and it had been ongoing for some years, different types of cancer. And I really didn't know a lot about it, and was just kind of taking it out of my mind because I didn't want to believe it. But after my mother passed, we realized even what they were trying to give her for cancer, it was burning the inside of her body.
It's radiation.
Yeah.
Radiation is poison. You can't heal a disease with poison.
Yeah.
The whole philosophy of the Western world is that we'll try to kill the cancer before we kill all your red blood cells. So that's why 90% of the time everybody dies. It ain't from the cancer, it's from the radiation. Big money making system. Okay? All right. We got to understand the difference between proper capitalism and exploitation. And that's what we have now. We don't have capitalism. We have exploitation. And the people are the means of keeping that money flow for the profit of 5% of America. Enrichment of the 5% of America. Okay. So that's peanut butter. And I just named a few of the chemicals. It's 259, it's about 250 more. And you feeding it to your kids. And they're addicted to these chemicals, so when they get to be adult, they just change chemicals from food chemical to alcohol, drugs, because that's what their body is demanding to give them. Because, hey man, you've been giving me this since I was 1. I need chemicals.
Right.
I was treating one lady, and I said, well, let's give you a juice and begin you. She couldn't even hold it down. Her body was so used to chemicals. How do you throw up nature? because your body is adjusted to chemicals. Okay. But let's get to the liver. That's the what? The executive of the digestive system. Okay? The executive of the digestive system. That means if the liver ain't working, ain't nothing else working. Okay? The liver is so important. Why? For your mental health to be functioning at a 90 to 100% level. When we abuse alcohol, it shuts down the liver. When we abuse drugs, it shuts down the liver. When we put these food chemicals in our body, it minimizes the functioning of the liver, which minimizes your mental, okay, and bodily health, as well as your spirit. Because when the liver is not functioning properly, the liver grounds the electronical output and input of the brain. Okay? And you experience unstable thinking, okay, scattered thinking, loss of memory, fatigue, and hormonal interference. Okay? And with a woman, that's bad. Your hormones going like this, and you.
Oh, we don't.
I'm just saying, because once they start going through,
Yeah, it is true, though.
once they start going through that thing y'all go through, and you about 45 and shit, you
It's
know,
called menopause.
menopause, yeah. And then your liver and your electronical impulses are at the same time out of whack. It's bad for you. Let's just be real. I ain't about no male-female war they got going on now. Okay? All right? So I don't speak in a prejudiced way against no gender.
So years ago, I mean like 20 or so years ago, they already knew that I had an imbalance, and this is what the imbalance is that you're speaking on.
Yeah.
They told me I had a hormonal imbalance.
Yeah, it probably comes from the chemicals, the liver not functioning,
And I was, oh, yeah.
scattered thinking, and confused, and
Yeah.
emotional instability,
And
which I hope I can.
I was
I can-
abused.
Yeah.
Abused.
Yeah, those are
abused.
traumas. Those
Yeah.
are traumas that are what I call repressed traumas. We don't
Right,
even
right.
know it's there because we have pushed it down. But in our eating, I can help you identify that trauma. And then in the spiritual class, help you to release that trauma. Okay? Through transactional analysis and proper spiritual prayer, meditation, and then the willingness to go beyond what you think is normal, you know, and release it from your pit.
Right. Yeah, because I need that.
It's healing. That's why I be wishing, man, I wish more people would come. Because AA ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, see, and that's all I was ready to do.
I done seen people in AA, I said, man, this ain't doing it. It shouldn't be a relapse. We're gonna get you where you're not abusing drugs. The greatest abuse and addiction is the food. You got so many, 259 chemicals in food, in peanut butter, and you giving it to your kids, and then wonder why they scattered brain, wonder why they cannot achieve their highest potential and grow up. By the time they're 40, they're in the dumps of life, narcissistic, selfish like little kids, okay, materialistic, thinking materials will bring you self-importance instead of righteousness.
That's crazy.
Okay? So what we need to do is understand, okay? It's all in the scriptures. All I'm teaching you, this is why I call it. What do I call it? I got this out the scriptures. Biblical holistic recovery.
Wow.
It's all in the scriptures.
Do you have that?
Y'all should from last week.
Yeah.
the biblical holistic health. Okay?
I don't have it, I wasn't here last week.
But you don't see no preachers teaching it. Okay? Because the church is a business. They just preach you enough to make you feel good, go home, and boom, boom. So we have to understand that the liver in a healthy situation grounds the brain and helps the electronical input and output of the brain. The liver is like a bus station. It's a transit. So it has what? Okay, when I say hepatic, that means liver functions. Erythropoiesis, production of red blood cells. Catabolism, this means detox, detoxing your body from chemicals. Macrophages is a process when you'll see where the red blood cells dies every 4 months, and it, through an acid process, kills those dead or injured cells. Okay, which is what happens when you have high blood pressure. The cells are injured. Okay. And so when it goes through, that's why if you have a heart problem, they're going to look at your kidney. Because those injured, the high blood pressure injures the cell. And when it goes through the kidney, it damages the renal of the kidney. So if you have a kidney problem, you better check that heart too. They go together. The body is. Okay. You got high blood pressure, try to get it down, which is easy. Once you understand what gave you high blood pressure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we have the porta hepatic. That is, if you have the picture, turn to page, I think it's 3. Yeah, you have a picture of it. The porta hepatic is right about right here, hepatic portal. It's about right here in the liver, on the back side. Not the front, but the back side. Okay. Then you have the hepatic porta. You have the hepatic vein. When I use the expression, I think it was last week I used it, where you have transportation. Let's use something simple.
Yeah.
Transportation of things through your liver, things that are essential for you to have a healthy life. Okay. The liver is the priest, the high priest of the digestive system. Okay. And you can see that in the construction and the functioning of the tabernacle in the scriptures. Maybe we'll get there, but it's at the first part of this. Okay. All right. I get you one.
All right.
Okay. So the hepatic porta being short for what? Transportation. Hepatic means what? Liver function. Okay. So when I say the hepatic artery, the hepatic partial vein, and things like that, hepatic always relates to liver function. You know you're talking about the liver. Okay, because I said I'm going to try to keep my language on the grassroots level. Okay, all right. So you have the gallbladder, the quadrant lobe, which is about right here. This is the gallbladder. Okay. You have the common bile duct, which is right about here. Okay. You have the hepatic artery right here. And you have the hepatic portal vein. That's this.
What does that do?
Well, that's a part of the transportating vitamins, minerals, oxygen into the blood so that it can get to the body system. Okay? All right. So when you out there, you don't eat in the morning, you have a beer, you don't eat. Okay. Don't drink in the morning. It's going to mess up your whole day. The first thing you do, even if you have a couple of beers, This is what I,
11 o'clock.
yeah. I mean, you know, that's cool, so the body is
Here's your pen.
hot. Okay. So, and everybody know I don't teach total abstinence. I want total abstinence. But I teach according to what you are able to achieve, because remember, we've been eating chemicals all our lives. We've been addicts all our lives. That's all we know is addictive culture and behavior. We look down on the alcoholic because he out there begging, and we look down on other people that had the extreme condition of addiction. But that same person that's going in the White House every day, drinking pop, he's an addict too. He's just a functional addict. Okay? Our kids, functional addicts. So it's very hard. That's why when I teach mature adults, I say, man, start your kids on there. Don't let them be addicts. Because soon as in AA, I used to go to AA, right? Everybody on coffee and donuts. That's it. Then I found out that donut turns to alcohol during the hydrochloric process. It does the same thing to the body, slower, but the same thing to the body that when you drink that shot. What's the difference? You see somebody getting off crack and they're going to get caffeine drinks, putting it in the alcohol. Come on, man. You're an addict.
Right.
You're just a functional addict.
Right.
And then there are some who become dysfunctional addicts. I don't have no prejudice between the two, because I believe in the one true Elohim, the one true God,
Right.
who is merciful. See, I live my life in mercy, grace, and peace.
Right.
Not in negation, minimization. You know, nowadays you can't even finish a conversation with a person before it becomes profane. What you experience. And then you have some people who are not negative. You did something innocently. And negation, minimization, negation, minimization. That's called they sick. Frontal lobe sickness. Okay, electrical inflow and output all messed up. And you go see him tomorrow, maybe, and they be, oh, did I do that? I know you had things with people, they don't even remember what they did.
Right.
They got up that morning, drunk some synthetic coffee, that sugar, and you don't even know, they walked. What do you do when the first thing you get up? Flush out your overnight toxins. Drink 8 ounces of water, 45 minutes before you eat anything. Flush out your overnight toxins. What's the next thing you eat? Fruit. To stimulate your body. Stimulate your digestion. But when you sleep, your body got to wake up, help it wake up with some fruit. It'll get you excited. Then to calm yourself and bring yourself to balance, drink you a glass of veggie juice. Okay? If you're real hyper, start that fruit with banana, potassium. Okay? It'll help your liver. Take that stress out your body. Your liver can function. Okay? So let's look at what the liver does. The hepatic portal carries blood, carries nutrients, the minerals, okay, from the digestive tract into the liver. The liver breaks it down, okay? Breaks down that, or what they call metabolize. You ever heard that word? Metabolism?
Yeah.
Yeah, that means that's the process, the male process of the body that breaks down things so that they can transport it into the blood. Right here. Into the blood. If your body or liver is not functioning on a level of competence, say you got 50%. Then what's gonna happen, and we can see it through, like you do 3, so if anybody can do it, you know, before we have the next class, every morning, if you got, this is what everybody should have that. Check your blood pressure 3 days in a row, and I can give you a blood pressure analysis. Okay? I didn't come here to do all that. Okay, so when I do work, I get paid. This is charity, teaching, okay? But it ain't gonna be nothing, just to show appreciation, okay? All right. So, go ahead.
I have a question. Okay, yes, I know this is the blood and all that stuff, just like the spleen, with the liver and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But, I have sickle cell trait, so I have quarter moons. Is that better for me with the liver and the spleen, or
Well, I
does
mean,
that
if
work?
you keep the liver healthy and keep that blood healthy, you know, we can get you a program that, but you gotta be dedicated.
Yeah,
See,
but
if you tell me your problem, you know what I'm gonna tell you? Are you willing to dedicate yourself to natural food eating?
Right, and, of course, I abuse, and,
Well, that's
With
emotional.
it,
We'll
yeah.
get into that. We'll
Yeah.
see what kind of abuse you got.
yeah, okay, you know, that's why I'm here, but yeah, anyway, with that, I have to, I'm gonna get on the new medicine, and with my new medicine, the first thing they told me was, you cannot consume liquor. And I was like, okay, I can do that, cause I'd already stopped, and they said you can have one every
One
other
beer,
day.
yeah, beer is good. One
Yeah,
beer.
one beer every other day.
Yeah, any doctor will tell you that. That's
One
really good
every
for
other-
your
yeah.
digestion with the hops, and that's really
Yeah.
good, especially if you get one, say about 1% alcohol or no
Mm-hmm.
alcohol. I drink, and I just drink because I'm having some problem with my digestion, and I
Mm-hmm.
did a whole lot. I said, okay, I need to work on this. See, I check myself so I can know what to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the O'Doul's non-alcoholic beers, very good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Very good for you. And if you just gotta have a little bit of alcohol, I'm looking at my friends here, one beer. Just like 2 cups of coffee. No, nothing over 2. Everything is medicine.
That's-
Let food
yeah.
be your medicine and medicine be your food.
And that's what my other doctor
Okay.
told me. She said you can have 2
All right?
cups of coffee.
But distilled alcohol is
Yeah.
pure 100% poison, and they put a name on it, and with your foolish butt, you go pay $85 for what? Alcohol.
I'm cheap.
Now, I done seen people do it because my friend owned a liquor store, and he said, man, on certain holidays, they'll come in, man, and spend $500 for a case of something, and it ain't nothing but alcohol. Just like people go out and buy perfume, and 60% of it is alcohol, smell good alcohol that deteriorates the cells because it's a dissolvent. So when you put it on your body, it dissolves the cell is covered with 50% protein, 50% fat. It dissolves it. That's why you get them bad colds, because you ain't got nothing that can penetrate to that cell, to the nucleus. Next thing you know, you're sick. Yeah, putting in alcohol and rubbing alcohol. No, rubbing alcohol is for emergencies, medical emergencies. You get cut, yeah, pour it in there. You ain't at no hospital with no antibiotic, pour it in there, kill them, that infection, no matter how much it works. But it ain't for daily use. It's a solvent. Solvent means to dissolve. Huh? Okay, but we get back on the liver. So we know that the hepatic portal here, you know, it receives and sends out the vitamins and minerals through the blood so that the blood can, after it metabolizes it or breaks it down to a usable substance, okay, puts it in the blood, and it carries it throughout the whole body system. Just because you take a vitamin don't mean you getting it. If your liver is functioning at 50%, you may not be getting anything. You understand what I'm saying? And then we have the hepatic artery. Where's that at? Here. Okay, in that area, hepatic artery, this little string I got going around the bile duct. The hepatic artery is the most important to me because it carries oxygenated blood to the liver. Without oxygen, you know if you go in a room, ain't no oxygen in it, you ain't coming out. So if you ain't got no oxygen in your body, you all acidic and no oxygen, what's gonna happen? It's gonna become disease. You're gonna do a study on pH. Okay. It's gonna become disease. When you drink too much alcohol, you produce too much acid. I done did it. I done drunk 6 beers just to test it. My pH was at 7. I said, okay, I'm gonna drink these 6 beers. And we're gonna wait 3 hours and see where we at. My pH was 5. So I can get a measurement on if I drink a beer or beers, how many can I drink before my pH goes below 6? See? Because I know we're addicts all our life. Okay. You understand? That's mercy. It's like, man, I'm not, if you drink, you evil. I'm not with that. That's your thing. That's because you've been raised in religious culture, negates and minimize instead of redeem. Elohim is love, and he that loveth is born of God, not he that believeth. Love is a lifestyle, a culture. Okay? So my man drinking 12 beers a night, I said, okay, how can I get him to 1 to a healthy level? Huh? Where he can maintain recovery. Instead of putting the pressure on him, because he didn't make himself like that. His mama did, so when she gave him that first donut. Oh, come here, baby. I love you. You did good. Okay. And then when you start acting crazy, what's wrong with you? You made him drunk. And then they put him on more drugs, medicine. Now he's all acidic. Really messed up. He just ain't getting well. That's because you keep making him sick. Okay? All right. So the hepatic artery carries oxygenated blood to the liver. The bile duct here produces bile. Bile is breaks down the food. It's not in the stomach like people say. It's in I call it the lower stomach. Some people call it the lower intestine. The deudum. Okay, you see, people say that word differently, but 3 ways differently. I heard doctors and holistic practitioners like myself, we say it different, but it's deudum. That's how I say it. Okay, I don't get off into that. Well, you said it wrong. What's wrong? Potato, tomato. Do you know?
Duodenum?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing as duodenum?
Yeah, duodenum. I see a lot of people say it that way.
Yeah. That's all I heard.
I say duodenum. Okay. All right. So don't get stuck on words. Identify. If I say tomato, you ain't gonna think of no apple. You're gonna think of a tomato. Oh. So why trip? Because of that negating mentality that we have, trying to be more important and more smart than somebody else. Well, you already know what they're talking about.
Like when I say soda.
Yeah, soda. I moved from Chicago to Milwaukee. In Chicago, we say pop. Everybody's saying soda. I'm thinking baking soda. I don't know baking soda, you know what I mean? So, you know, let's not trip on that, but learn, what do you mean when you say soda? Oh, I'm talking about the same thing y'all call power. Instead of negating, denigrating,
Yeah.
which is almost taking over this country in the grassroots, religious and social structure. Everybody trying to be more important. They trying to live the illusion of a Hollywood figure. I gotta pick a car. And don't know they sound like, when they talk to me, they sound like little 12-year-old. Nah, man, I'm beyond that. I see you later. You know, I'm not judging this person because he got a bike and you got a Cadillac. Cadillac do the same thing as that bike. Get you from A to B. Just takes a little longer.
Yeah. Pat and turn. Pat them feet and
Okay.
turn the corner.
So the bile duct is produced by the liver and goes into the liver to the duodenum, small intestine or small stomach, the lower stomach I call it, so that fats can be emulsified. Okay. When that bile is not functioning, what do we have? Obesity. Because if that fat is not emulsified, then it is stored in the body. Okay. So your metabolism, when you get 40, then drop 10%. So that means you can't eat as much fat. When you get 50, it drops maybe 20 to 50, 10 to 20%. You can't eat like you did when you was 20. Logical, you know. Why? The body is getting older. It doesn't have that much, that need. Because when you're 20, you need that extra energy. But when you get about 40, everything kind of, okay, we don't need that much now. Cool. Okay. But we still eating like we 20. Because eating has to become for us what? Entertainment and pleasure and a means to relieve our repressed emotional traumas and insecurity.
That's something that should have been on.
Now I'm gonna show you, this is a study,
Smart.
and I'm gonna do a little bit before we close and show you foods in relationship to emotional needs. So we use food to fulfill our traumatic emotional needs. And don't know it. That is the greatest addiction. Biological is bad, but emotion addiction, which nobody cannot identify because they deal with the psychological and biological. But the emotional, which relates to your spirituality, moving your spirit forward. Ain't nobody moving their spirit forward. They get a house and a pretty car, and it looks better than yours, and they walk around with their head all up feeling like, I'm queen. That's why I don't call no women queen. Be a mother and a sister. Be a wife. You got to be those three before you can call yourself a queen. If you're not competent in those three, then you ain't made it.
Right.
To no spiritual, psychological, and bodily royalty. Okay. You gone?
I got these back.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's a need.
Absolutely.
Okay. So these things, the hepatic portal, vitamins and minerals. Okay, we got to keep it healthy. The hepatic artery, oxygenation. Okay. And the bile duct, the metabolism of fats. It starts in the mouth with the amylase. Okay. That's why you don't feed a child any starchy food until their back teeth has grown fully, because then you have 100% function of amylase. And that's why you got so much mucus buildup in these babies. Y'all feeding them starch. His body ain't even producing the enzyme to break it down. So he what? Get pneumonia. Why? We're ignorant. So you making money for the medical system. Oh yeah, feed them rice. Feed them these beans. So he shouldn't even eat any starchy foods until he's about 3, when those back, what they call those? Molars, yeah, are fully grown, not partially grown, fully grown. And that's how you know that the amylase enzyme, that breakdown start, is now functioning.
How long does that take though?
But it's different in different children.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's different in different children. Some people just have big teeth, some have small, so, you know, so you got to, as a parent, you have to make that evaluation. Ain't no rule to it, as far as, okay, it's 3 years, it could be 2. You gotta watch those teeth. You understand what I'm saying? So there's no mandatory time, okay? So then we have, we might not get through all of this, got 10 minutes, but I'll carbohydrate metabolism. Okay, I gotta take this down. Everybody got these notes?
No.
Now, you should, that's why I put on the board so you can get these notes, these words. Hepatic liver function, erythropoiesis, production of red blood cells, catabolism, that means the ability of the liver to detox chemicals out, but we have so massive of a chemical intake, then we get overtox. Microphages, the acidic process that destroys dead cells every 4 months. Okay, all right. Junk food, we define as synthetic dirt. That's all you're eating, is synthetic dirt. Okay. So you got this, all this is on the study. Okay. Synthetic dirt. And so we got with the whole thing, let me do it from here. I'll do it on this side. I want to keep that up. We got the carbohydrate metabolism. That means the breakdown of carbohydrates. So you eat, and the carbohydrates turn to what?
Alcohol.
Glucose or alcohol, fermented. Okay. If it's yeast and sugar products, then it is a fermented beverage. Okay. And it goes through a glycogenesis. Okay. Producing what is very important, glycogen. Glycogen is reserved energy that is stored within the liver. You look like a working man. How many times have you worked and you was just tired? And then we got what? Second wind. That's that glycogen kicking in. Energy reserved in the liver. Okay. And then we have the metabolism that produces, that goes through the metabolized, and we got like, let me see, I want to spell this right, let me look at it. Glycolysis. Glycolysis. Okay. That turns into glucagon. Glucagon. I think that's how you spell it. Glucagon. I ain't the best speller in the world. Okay. So that's why I always have notes on these words. And it releases to bloodstream to increase glucose. So when that happens, we need the what? Insulin from the pancreas to regulate that glucose in the blood and to keep it where it's not destroying our tissues and doing damage to our body. Okay. So insulin lowers the sugars in the bloodstream and causes glucose to be stored in the liver as glycogen.
Is that where you get all the diabetes and all that stuff?
Well, that's when the melanin centers in the is being destroyed.
Okay.
Okay. If you have one, all your melanin centers have been destroyed.
Okay.
Okay. Which produces the insulin.
Okay.
Okay. but you can get on a diet if you want where you can keep it from an uncontrolled state to a controlled state.
Yeah,
Okay.
I seen on that commercial and I didn't realize that we had insulin already in our bodies.
Yeah, we got insulin,
Yeah.
but it comes out when we exercise.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why they always tell you exercise.
Okay.
Exercise, but don't do no 2 hours, 1 hour,
Oh, yeah.
do 20 minutes a day of exercise.
Right.
Get that sweat, release those toxins, and you get that natural insulin in the body to be inspired and service.
Okay.
Okay. Another thing that you can use is string bean juice. String bean juice has 2 units of insulin
Mm.
You're saying string bean?
String bean, girl, you from the South? String, you know what a string bean is?
Yes, I do.
I know when you.
I just wanted to repeat
But,
it.
yeah.
Green bean, spring bean.
Yeah, I don't know, they got a lot of names for it, but we call it green beans up in Chicago.
Right.
Okay. And it has 2 units. I drink a cup in the morning or a cup in the evening.
So you mean when you open up the can of green beans?
No, the can ain't nothing. That's got so
Okay.
many, that's got so much chemical in it and it retards your
Okay, you talking about
digestive
natural
ability.
green beans?
Yeah.
When you cook them and you finish cooking, save that, save that
You got
juice
2
in
to
it.
3 units of insulin.
That's what I'm doing with my beets. I boil my beets,
Yeah,
put the
don't
stuff
boil
in.
them, don't boil them. We gonna do a cooking thing. Show you how to cook
I
vegetables.
boiled it. So
I know, I mean, we came from the South
So
and
it be
they,
soft.
no, you don't make it soft, man, that's, when it's soft like that and you metabolizing it, you killing all the vitamins and minerals, all you eating is bulk.
Best is raw, the best.
The best
Well,
is
so
raw,
what I'm
it's
eating,
steamed.
no wonder I'm not getting no results for it, because
Yeah,
I'm more than
wow,
out of
you
sugar,
got it.
and I even got the juice, and I'm drinking the juice and eating the beets. And
Did
I'm-
you put
So
sugar in your juice?
glucagon, let me get this, glucagon promotes the breakdown of glycogen, okay? That release of energy, to be, released back into the bloodstream, higher than glucose levels in the blood, okay? And then we have the, I'm not gonna go through all of it because I wanna do something. Lipid, metabolism, which is the breakdown of fats, such fats as, cholesterol, lecithin, you get lecithin, metabolizes or breaks down fats in your body so that it turns to liquid. If you use that, you'll keep those veins and arteries soft and you won't get those clogs. 1 tablespoon, if you get the liquid, 1 tablespoon, 15 minutes before every meal. Lecithin, you can get it at the store. And 1 tablespoon, 15 minutes before every meal. And then we'll deal with the cholesterol, show you how you actually get it. Okay, I'm gonna stop here, and then we'll deal with the rest at the beginning of the next study. We'll do a full, okay. So you can see how important this bus system, this transportation system is. Okay? Breaks down fat, everything, all the chemicals that keep your body in a healthy state. Natural chemicals, vitamins, minerals. Breakdown of lipids, which is nothing but fat. Fat, lipids, fat. Okay. And then you wonder why America is so obese. 50 pounds over your normal rate of weight, you in trouble. Your heart is in trouble. Okay. I'm 63 years old. Yeah. No wrinkles.
Right.
Because I learned at the age of 23 and went through a process of years of studying. Dr. Africa being my last teacher. Okay, because they got a lot of people that says things. Somebody tell you, oh, don't use garlic. Are you out your mind? They've been using garlic since the Egyptian army used to use garlic. Okay.
I put garlic on everything.
All right. You get rid of them because garlic removes those poisons in your body. It's an antioxidant. Okay? And when you don't have toxins, you got energy. Fighting energy. So I don't listen to everybody. Okay. But Dr. Africa, ain't nobody in the world had more knowledge about food, vitamins, minerals. Just because you're a celebrity don't mean you know anything about holistic science. And I'm so glad. I thank Yahweh Elohim. Okay. I'm Messianic Hebrew, so I call who y'all call God Elohim.
Yeah.
Elohim, the mighty one. Yahovah. Okay. I use the Hebrew name, so don't
Right.
be tripping.
Yeah. My sister said Jehovah, so I don't tell you. It's
So
all-
I don't do Jehovah, but
Okay, she do
Yahovah.
Jehovah.
Yahovah.
I like King.
Because I understand. I study in this language and other things. All right, that's what I want. And I want to, because I'm not, I look at all cultures, and you can benefit from the knowledge of all cultures. And I couldn't believe in Western Christianity. I said, don't make sense. 3 gods, and this and that, and that and that, and we just accept it. Bible says, Yahweh your God is one, and we got 3 of them. Hold on, something's wrong with that. See? Why? Frontal lobe damage. That logical process ain't functioning. Okay, fine. But when I got into the Hebrew, Echad, one, and understand that one does not deal with an amoeba existence, because you're not even one. Your body, soul, and spirit. Image, likeness that produces action. Spirit. Oh, now I understand. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Father, divine soul, Son, divine form of that soul, and Spirit, the activity of the unity of both. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So now I wasn't confused no more, so I continued my study, breaking down those words. Because knowledge is what? Food. You look all through the word, they talk about grain and wheat and milk. Oh, okay, they talk about the inception of certain levels of knowledge. Knowledge is food. Oh, I gotta feed me. I gotta feed my spirit. But we'll get on that when we do the spirit. But I want to show you the relationship between food and your emotional traumas. Okay. So you have 6 types of foods. You have bready food. How many people like bready foods?
I don't eat a lot of bread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not nobody? So, bready foods relieve feelings of insecurity and soothes dissatisfaction. So you see a person obsessed with bready food? Oh, okay. You can look at that behavior and then take it back to the root emotionally from which it derives. Okay. Chewy. How many people like chewy food? You know, a lot of people chew that bubble gum filled with arsenic. They use arsenic in chewing gum.
Rotten teeth and all of that, so that just
Yeah.
kind of ruins all of that.
Chewy. What we're not talking about. We're talking about emotional now.
Emotional.
Relieves tension, stress, and the need to slow down and unwind.
I tell you.
Okay. That's why you see people who real hyper, they chewing gum. It's a need, relieves tensions and stress,
Oh,
and the need to slow down and unwind. Chewy food. Okay, creamy. Help satisfy the need to be nurtured and comforted. All right? So, a person that needs to be nurtured all the time. See, I done had girlfriend, oh, I need a hug. Then they go get a Hostess Twinkie. That creamy.
Right.
I never put it together.
Okay.
Now relax.
We ain't don't tell the secret.
Phil
That's
laughed
something
on
for you
that
to
one.
work with.
You can tell
Okay.
Phil laughed on that one.
Okay. Crunchy. I think that's how you spell crunchy. Okay. Helps release anxiety and social pressure caused by cultural pressure.
No. I'm waiting for the last two to see where I'm at.
Okay. All right. Salty. Oh, this is good.
Favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Salty. Redirects anger,
Oh.
frustration, and violence.
And what?
Redirects anger, satisfies you that anger within you. That's a person that need anger management, but he need it holistically.
Okay, so yeah, I do love potato chips, so that's me.
Yeah. Okay. You like you like crunchy and salty. Which boy, we can do some diagnostics on that.
Let's see what the last one is. Let's see if I won.
Okay.
You said Fritos.
Uh-oh.
Sugary.
Oh,
Now,
there
this
we
is
go.
it here.
Uh-oh.
This tells you the majority of America. Help satisfy the need to give or receive love. It's called being in a trauma called love deficit.
Now, just
Okay.
I don't want no love. I'm done with love.
No, okay.
I'm 6, been there, doing everything. I'm done. I don't want nobody. I like being
All right.
home watching
All right.
TV.
But I want y'all, don't leave that, hold on. You gotta use the bathroom again?
No, I did have to use the bathroom before.
Oh,
I did.
but I want you to understand, okay, and I'm gonna get a copy of this so that you can meditate on it. See, the mind can deduce things on its own, just meditate.
This
Let
is
the
really
mind
great.
take over,
I
It's a
like
great
this
class.
class.
okay?
I like it.
All right. And, you know, we're gonna get it done. If it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I was hoping the other guy came back today and a few other people. But it is important for you to understand who I am and how to move forward, especially when we get into the
Yes.
spiritual aspect. Okay? You know,
Yep.
ready food. I made some smiles on some of these.
She's just
Okay.
silly.
Ready foods relieve feelings of insecurity and soothe dissatisfaction. Chewy relieves tension, stress, and the need to slow down and unwind. Creamy helps satisfy the need to be nurtured and comforted. Okay.
Chewy is me too.
Crunchy helps relieve anxiety and social pressure caused by cultural pressure. Salty redirects anger, frustration, and potential violence.
I'm on medicine for that.
Okay. Yeah, well, you better get off that salt. Sugary helps satisfy the need to give or receive love.
You gonna
People-
get that for us too? You gonna make copies of that for us?
Yeah, I'm gonna make copies. I thought I had, but I didn't send it down.
Oh my.
Okay.
I like this class.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, really meditate. Come with notes. Take the note and go home and say, okay, I'm gonna unwind on some out. I'm gonna eat my intellectual and rational food
Right.
and meditate on it. Did everybody sign in?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I am very much enjoying this.
Thank you. Yes, I
Okay.
like this class.
All right. I'll see you next week.
All right. Yes, Lord willing.
No, you willing.
Lord,
I like
Thank
that.
you for that one. You got it. You know.
Yeah, you willing.
I seen this
Yeah.
at the one recovery. It said, it works if you let it. It won't if you don't.
That's right.
No lie.
You know, you gotta put effort. That's how you expand your frontal lobe. from a shrinking state
Put effort to get
through
that liquor store.
intent
What'd you
and
say?
will. Okay? Intent and will. Obedience expands intelligence. You understand what I'm saying? Procrastination shrinks the frontal lobe.
See, that whole little
False
last part that you
promises.
put on there kind of took me way overboard.
Mhm.
Because I'm just trying to think and put this up there somewhere, but this is really great. I enjoy.
I want you to
so
keep
much.
coming because I see a lot of joy coming from you,
Yeah.
getting this knowledge.
I am, I just didn't know all of that was going, I mean, we know
Mhm.
growing up and going to school and college and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
but that still doesn't bring you into some of the things.
Yeah, well, that's why we,
Tie it all together.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
give you the practical
we're more addicted to entertainment and relieving that love deficit. Majority of people I meet have a love deficit. And that love deficit will take you into, you ever remember the song? Looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
That's the song of the love deficit. That dude was telling us a message. And I never forget that song. Okay. And we do. We look for love in the wrong person because we have a love deficit. That usually happens in the womb. When we go through that study.
I just
Womb
doesn't-
development. 3 trimesters.
Have you ever heard a song, it's called Love Jones?
Yeah.
Wait, well,
Yeah. Love
and-
obsession.
Yeah, and
The
that's what that
obsession
kind of is
to-
like.
And you never satisfied us.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
That takes a deeply spiritual program. You know.
Yeah.
And this atheistic love that is separated from spirit, this animal love they call love, and that's why you got all these isms. I'm a feminine. Or you deal with this female problem. What about, I told a lady, she said, well, women abuse, women abuse. I said, why do you keep exclusifying women and associating with abuse? There's a lot of children get abused. There's a lot of men. Abuse is a human problem, not a female problem. And she's all messed up. Okay? When I deal with abuse and I teach abuse, I deal with the child from the womb all the way into adulthood, who was abused in the womb.
See, you're ready to do something.
Okay? No such thing as just women abuse. It's abuse. Human abuse. Okay? I experienced abuse. Am I supposed to say, well, my abuse means nothing? The trauma means nothing. No, I had to deal with that trauma. I'm willing to help male, children, women deal with that trauma. But if you just want me to get up, could you come and speak at the woman abuse? No, I speak at human abuse. I don't do women abuse. Because my thing is bringing the family back together healthy.
That's great.
Okay. I don't deal with none of y'all isms. Chauvinism, the male is the boss. No, man. We don't get down like that. Because that's not how the reality of order works. Okay? And so you have a despiritualized social doctrine that's out here that's killing us. Killing relationships, family, everything. So you ain't gonna get me in that. I pray 2 to 3 times a day. I depend on spiritual enlightenment to understand the things that I know. Not on some goofy person because he got a doctor in front of his name. And he just as sick as everybody else. Got coffee and a donut, peanut butter. And you think I'm gonna listen to you because you got a doctor before your name? And I know that your liver, I know that your frontal lobe is functioning at 50%. You can't teach me nothing. But I know that the frontal lobe of God is 100%. So I see
All right.
that. All right?
Yes,
So
it
we gonna
is.
end today. I hope everybody enjoyed this. I got something for you, so
Okay.
you can wait for me.
All right.
And we'll sit for about 5 minutes, both of y'all.
You want me
Okay.
out there?
Yeah, I'm gonna come out there.
Out there, okay.
Okay,
All
I'm gonna
right.
come out
Did we
there.
get a present too? I know it's not a present.
No, I mean, you
was
know,
just kidding.
like I said, when I do that level of work, I did this, it takes time, you know, and so it's like it's extra, cause I said I would teach, and I gotta take care of a family, so when I take that time away from my family, I charge. But it's not gonna be much, okay? Because I want people to be well, but I also wanna be
Yeah.
honest.
Well,
I also
I'm
wanna be
gonna look
honest.
into it as well.
I also wanna
I
be
wish my
honest.
son-
When I take time for my family, people got to pay for it. Until I say, hey, look, I'm gonna do this teaching for free. But I can't
Right.
add more time. You see what I'm saying? Because I got to take care of my family. I am the head of my family. I'm the provider for my family. And I don't play like that.
Well, I've enjoyed all of it.
I want y'all to keep coming.
Yeah.
I want y'all to keep coming. Because in 3 months, we're going to see a miracle in this diabetes.
All right.
Okay?
Wonderful.
It's gonna
Sounds
work.
good.
And I work with you. You know what I mean? So, here we go. And, okay, I gotta do this. All right, thank y'all for coming. I ain't getting no clap this week, but I see some smiles. I love you guys, man.
I didn't throw that out there in the group. My brother had a liver transplant.
Okay. It's very rejuvenating. All you gotta, I can cut a piece of your liver off, put it in somebody, and that liver regrows itself.
The whole thing? Gross?
Yeah, the whole back. Bless this routine. Keep it detoxified. And white milk basil. Okay, Sarah Mary. That will keep and rejuvenate the red blood cells of the liver. He got to live on that the rest of his